I'm not repeating my story.
You don't have to repeat it. We haven't really gotten into yeah, I just forgot to hit record, and I figured before we get into the meat of the stuff that I should probably record. So any other fun and exciting either out and about contacts or bookings?
Now, the party I'm working tonight is actually out east, and she wanted a 7 o'clock party because she gets up so early. And I just had two of the guests, along with the host, all three comment on my apron post and my kit post that I posted in the event. And two of them, both guests, have said that they would like an invite to the Look and Learn, but I can't invite them because we're not friends. So I'm waiting for them to accept the friend request. And I said, you can always unfriend me afterwards if you're not interested in any more information or anything.
True.
So they've said they are interested. Now I'm waiting for them to accept so I can invite them.
There you go. Good. So this week, the training was on host coaching, and what did you guys? I guess here's a couple questions. What's something that you learned, and first of all, I'm starting over, sorry. How do you feel about your host coaching now? And what is something you hope to implement now that you've had this training?
I think it's helped me, especially being new. I'm going to use the 40 equals 20 means 15, get 10 outside orders. I really like that.
Okay, good. So what do you think? And I know Elizabeth, I know you're brand new and just have done like one or two shows, but had you been doing host coaching before, or what did you think your host coaching level was before this training, and where do you think you're going to take it?
I can honestly say for this last party, it probably wasn't that great. I mean, it was one of my friends, and she was kind of like, well, I'll help you out since it's your first party.
Sure.
So she knew my situation. And she is also a consultant for Cincy.
Okay.
So she kind of has a feel for consulting businesses. But I would have definitely done a few things differently. Like I would have had her invite more people, maybe work harder on outside sales, stuff like that. And yeah, I'll definitely do a lot of things different on my next party.
Sure.
But there's a couple questions and I don't know if anybody else has these, but like, I guess, do you do the same host coaching things for virtual parties, or is that more like the fridge sheet and all that more for the cooking parties?
There was like the fridge sheet. There were a couple of documents uploaded. And one was for a catalog party, one was for a cooking show, and one was for a virtual party. So all of those are on the events. If you go to files, it's easier to find them through the on the 6 Weeks to Success event page, and then on the left hand side you can click on files. So there is a different one. You're still gonna do host coaching, but you're gonna alter it a little bit for a virtual party. So instead of asking them to invite 40, you want to aim for 30 guests that are going, that have clicked going. So they may have to invite 100 people to get, or 150 people to get 30 going, or 200 people, just because not everybody checks their notifications. Not everybody knows that they've been invited. I am a big person. Personally, I am a proponent of using events instead of groups, because people have to choose going to the event. Whereas with groups, if you add them to the group, a lot of people get mad when they're added and no one asks them. So I'm a proponent of using groups. And I don't know that I've had, well, I guess Tina, who's a new member on our team, she had like 53 people going. I think that's the most people I've had.
Holy cow.
Like going, which is why she's now a consultant. um, so, but you're still going to host coach them, but you're just going to alter it a little bit, I guess.
And do y'all still have them send out regular invitations or just do the Facebook invite?
You can do either one. What I encourage people to do is invite more ways than one. So if they invite them on the Facebook, maybe talk to them in person and be like, hey, I sent you a Facebook invite. Or text them and say, hey, I invited you to a Facebook party. Make sure you click going. You can do actual paper invites or emails. What I usually do personally is I create like 5 or 6 paper invites. I use the mini catalogs, and I give them to the, I send them in the host packet for anybody who maybe does not have Facebook, so that they can still go on that link. They'll still have the link and be able to order online. But it's really up to you. I always encourage more than one way of inviting. And for Facebook parties, I highly, highly recommend individual follow-ups, or not follow-ups, but reminders. So say tomorrow is my party. I would be asking my host yesterday, make sure that either tonight or tomorrow you text, message, email, call all of your people you've invited individually and remind them about the party. Because it's so easy to forget something that they don't have a paper invite for, or that they don't, that's on the computer and maybe they don't remember. So that's what I do, and I know that there's other people who do similar.
Yeah, and I did have her. She said she texted everyone the link to the catalog. So
that's good. And sometimes it's just a matter of knowing how the guests communicate. If someone's not on Facebook very often and communicates better through text, and text them a reminder, that kind of thing. So Dara's still on the phone, so when she's done, then I'll have her share. Let's see. Did you get, I haven't listened to the audio call yet, so, and it may be one that I've already listened to before, but did you get anything from the PC University call, Elizabeth, that kind of stuck out to you?
Yes. Yes. The create relationships with your host, okay. Which I think she kind of said that in her little video too. Like, if you befriend them, they're less likely to cancel.
Yeah.
I think that was from this week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My weeks are blending together.
That's okay. Hi, Jamie. Dara, do you have anything what was my questions? How do you think your host coaching is now, and after listening to the recording, is there something that you would change?
There's a few things I'd change. My biggest problem is no matter what I've done in the little over a year that I've been a consultant, I have yet to get more than 20, 25 people to attend a party. The current party that I'm rocking right now that is closing either tomorrow night or Saturday morning, I have 13 buying guests, so I think that's awesome.
That's good.
But I only have, and I'm looking right now so I can tell you the numbers. She has 9 maybes attending her party, and 18 that are going on her party. But I've got 17 orders altogether. 13 are shipping to the host, and the balance are direct ships. So that means that most of them live local to her if they're shipping to her. So
what would you do different?
That's my biggest thing is, I mean, I like some of the stuff I heard, but some of the stuff I've heard isn't working for what I've tried. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. I get them to invite, and let me back up to that. She invited 348 people. So it's not a matter of her not inviting enough people. And we discussed that. I have requested the guests to bring a friend or two or more to the party, you know, and especially the virtuals. The home shows, the few that I get on there, I don't do that many, but the few that I've had, I request that they all bring 2 guests. And most of my home shows, I've gotten 4 or 5 guests showed up at the home shows.
That's really good, though. Honestly, that's really good. That if you have people bring guests, that's awesome. I will send you. Do you do any like early bird posts or anything? I can send you what I have kind of adopted since I went to the director retreat for doing some early bird posts, and then getting your hostess to help do some posts. I can share that with you and see if that's something different that you haven't seen before. Linda just joined us, and she has seen that on my template, on a template that I shared with her. So,
yes,
but I can share that with you, Barrett.
I'd like to see it because, like I said, I'm having a hard time with what to get them to do and how to do it. You know, even things that I could do differently. Because as I'm reading through it and I'm listening to the call and everything, I'm like, you know, I could do that. I'm not saying I couldn't. I could do some of this stuff. I don't know. The making the videos, you know me in videos. I hate them. I hate even being on, like right now, I hate the video aspect.
But sometimes you have to jump out of your comfort zone to make things work. You don't have to like it to do it.
Oh, I understand that, but that just means, like, right this minute is the 1 minute of the day that I don't have kids in the house screaming and hollering.
Sure.
That's the time I do. So, yeah. I'm spending my free minute with you guys.
I feel so loved. But, yeah, that was one of the things we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You don't have to like it to do it. So just keep that in mind. And then also, it can't hurt to try things different. If just because it didn't work 1 or 2 times, try it again. See if that works. And just might be a situation or a host. So don't give up if something doesn't work 1 or 2 times. Now, if it's not working consistently, then time to try something else.
Okay. Well, one of the girls just accepted my friend request, so now we can get her invited. Yay!
I think you're already invited to it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm already in.
And for the rest of you guys, there's a virtual look and learn on Sunday. Sorry, this is like a hiatus in the coaching call. It's a commercial. There's a virtual look and learn on Sunday on Facebook at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 Eastern. If you have someone who wants more information about the Pampered Chef business, and you are not already invited, just let me know and I will invite you, and then you can invite the friend, and I will be on there, but probably not posting. So just FYI. And that's any time between now and Sunday. Okay. Back to, and Linda, the question I was asking, and Jamie, if you got either one of you, my question was, what? Sorry, Elizabeth?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry. The question I was asking is from the homework. how do you think your host coaching has been going so far? And after listening to the training, what would you do different?
My biggest thing that I've seen is most of the host coaching is going to cooking shows. And those are not something that I can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I did listen to the virtual party one that was posted, and she had a lot of good ideas. That's my biggest thing, because I cannot do the cooking shows right now.
Sure. And there are, before you hopped on, I was talking to Elizabeth, answering a question from Elizabeth a little bit about taking some of the host coaching concepts from the cooking shows and just altering them to make it for virtual parties. So instead of saying, here's 40 invites, invite 40 people, have a goal to get 30 people that click going, or even if you're having problems getting 30, try for 20. So you just have to alter a little bit.
There are a lot of good ideas. And I can see the possibility of using them.
Mm-hmm. So it might just be thinking outside of the box a little bit to alter the host coaching idea to make it fit the virtual party. And if you need help with how to do that, certainly reach out to me or Cindy or other folks.
Okay.
Doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Tasha just posted on the chat, since she's not feeling very well and can't talk very well. She just said that she's having the same experience. She finished her third party. Host was absolutely amazing. So that's great that she ended up getting 2 bookings and 1 potential recruit. That's awesome.
That's good. That's the area that I'm still struggling.
That's okay. Sometimes it takes a while with recruits.
Yeah. But I'll vocalize what I've told you. The email parties are not a good thing to do. They're a lot of work, not a lot of good response. I figured out ways to copy and paste so I can use the what's in Post My Party, but it still didn't help. So I'm not sure. I'm just going to have to keep working on that. But at this point, I'm not sure I'd want to do another email party.
Sure. So we'll have to brainstorm ideas of what we can do if someone doesn't have Facebook, besides just passing catalogs around. So that might be a brainstorming concept for all of us to think about.
The email is also hard to follow.
It can be, yeah.
It is very hard to follow, even though I figured out how to set up a group in Gmail. Mm-hmm. And even with that, things still got confused. But I'm learning. So I'll keep posting here and there. But like I said, I'm not going to try another one at this point.
I have a suggestion for you, Linda.
What's that?
You said that none of your friends have Facebook, or some of them have it and some of them don't?
Most of my friends have Facebook.
Okay.
It's just a couple of them that had parties do not have Facebook.
Okay. I must have missed that prior to tonight. So
yeah,
that's why
that's the reason we attempted the email. But it's not a good, viable option at this point.
Okay. And group texting would be chaotic, so you don't want to try that.
That's kind of what I did this last one, but she had absolutely no response. And we worked for the 2 weeks she had her party, and the only reason she made the $200 is a personal friend of mine wanted to order something. And I added it to her party. That's the only way she made the $200. It's just nobody really responds to their emails.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah. So we'll have to kind of brainstorm some ideas.
I would love that. I mean, I'm willing to keep trying, but the two I have had have been an awesome amount of work for very little
Reward.
Yeah.
Right.
For me or for the host.
Right.
You know, and that's the big thing. I mean, we're supposed to be working for the host to make out good. And neither one of my hosts on the email parties did very well.
Sure. And I don't know, can't remember if I know that you said that they did some emailing as well.
They did.
It depends too on how much they're working to get some of those outside orders to reaching out to.
And that was a big issue. That was a big issue because the second party I just closed, she's working towards her RN. She's going to school, and she didn't have a lot of time to help me contact her guests. So I was doing most of the work myself.
So this kind of segues real well into my next question. I think it was Donna Day, who posted on our 6 Weeks to Success, the refrigerator worksheets. And they're in the, if you go to that event and go on the left-hand side, it says files, or go to that group, on the left-hand side, click on files and you can find them. What did you guys think of those? Do you have any feedback, any thoughts on what you might do with those? If you would use them? There was one for cooking shows, one for virtual shows, and one for catalog shows. Does anybody have feedback on those?
I couldn't figure out how to get to them.
Okay.
That was my issue. I've learned a lot, but I couldn't figure out how to make copies of them so I can at least modify them to what I need.
Okay, well, let me share my screen and I will show you. Maybe. Yay! So, I don't even know where I am. Messenger. That's me. Sorry. My brain's not working.
It's all right.
So if you're in the 6 Weeks to Success group, over here on the left-hand side is files. This is the easiest way to find a file or a photo or a video in a group that's been uploaded. So click on files, and then right here are the refrigerator, reminder sheet, virtual, catalog, and KS's kitchen show. So I'm just going to click the virtual one since I know all of us on here do the virtual shows as well as some do cooking shows. So then it opens up like this, which is the actual post, and then you can download it, which I already downloaded it. But then, so on my computer, it shows up down here at the bottom. And I'm just going to click to open. And Elizabeth, I'm sorry you can't see it since you're on the phone.
That's right, I found it.
Okay. So then basically it's like a checklist for your host, but you need to fill in some things about it. And you'd have to edit it for you as well because it has another consultant's name in there. And you may need to edit it as well for if it's not going to work for you, or you might try it this way and then see that you need to edit some of the other check boxes. So say yes to, because have you ever had a host not say yes to your Facebook event? I'm like, you have to say you're going. It's your event. So have that, make sure that they're saying yes to the Facebook event, and then invite at least 100 people by, and you fill that in. Email, Facebook post, Instagram post, tweet, red stamp, picture invitation, blah, 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 different ways to invite. Passing catalogs around. You need to give them due dates that they need to start this by. So I like this about the catalogs. Don't let anybody hijack them. Make sure you put a Post-it note on them.
Have any of you used the red stamp that she refers to in this?
I've used it once, I think, but once or twice.
I've been using the one from Pampered Chef on the biz page, the eBiz page.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between using the two?
Red Stamp's just an app, or you can basically create like something that you can use as a text as well. You can send it as a picture and a text message.
Okay.
Some of the backgrounds you have to pay for, but I think some of them are free.
Okay.
I think it's been a while since I've used it.
Okay. I was just curious because there's been so much information. I spent most of yesterday and half of today just looking at things.
Yeah, there is.
Watching the videos, watching all the different things that we're supposed to be doing. It's a bit overwhelming.
It is, and that is why, okay, so we will probably do this training again, and so if you wanted to take it again, that would be fine.
I would.
With the new consultant training that Linda, I know that you were in on, and Elizabeth, I think it's just virtual on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that at the same time we're doing this. It's not quite working.
That's okay. You can always go back and look at the posts later, tomorrow, things like that. And you can also look at the they're going to be doing that new consultant training again starting on the 15th.
Okay.
It's a lot of information in a short amount of time. But you can always go back and look at it.
Yeah, at my age, my brain is not absorbing everything at one time.
Just you and your age, trust me.
And I love to learn new things, but boy, they're coming at me a lot faster than I can absorb them.
There is a lot going on right now, so don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just you. There's a lot going on. So,
okay.
Did you guys see where I found this all? On the events, or I keep calling it an event. It's a group. I'm sorry. On the group where you can find this, so you can go on your own computer and look and see everything that's on here for their checklist. Do you think that you would use this with your host, and do you think your host would use it? Would you use it, and then would your host use it when you give it to him?
I'm going to try and use it and see how it works, but I do something somewhat similar already. Not identically, but something similar. And they all say that they'll follow it and do whatever, but some do and some don't.
And Tasha said that she would use it and she's going to push it. So I have not seen this before, so this is something that I'm going to try too. This is the first time I've seen this type of checklist, so that's awesome. At least as an individual document. There's been different versions of checklists on party planners and stuff like that, but handing this to them or having it as a separate document to give to the hosts and going through this with them. If you mail your packet to them, calling them or messaging them and going through the checklist one by one would be something for sure that I plan on doing. It's just a really neat sheet, a neat concept. So this is a place where it has it broken down between virtual and cooking show and catalog show, so you can access that. You can see the differences in that too. We also talked about skill in Jennifer's training. I have to get back to my notes. was talking about our skills as one of the pillars. Starting on the skill pillar. Luckily, the skill pillar is the easiest to improve on because they are easily taught or caught. What steps do you guys think you needed to take to increase your skills of host coaching? What do we need to do to increase your host coaching? I need to practice, personally. I need to put some things down in paper and practice my host coaching. Make sure I'm doing it. Using the checklist. That kind of thing.
I kind of agree with that. That's one of the areas I'm trying to work on. I'm up to having my 6th and 7th parties scheduled. One is supposed to be starting now as soon as my host puts her people in so we can send the invites out. The other one is not starting till the 15th. So that's an area I know I need practice.
So I know that because I've been in some other trainings, when Ann McMillan does her trainings, she does her host coaching, and I think Amanda Joe does it too. Every Sunday, she contacts her hosts for the month. So if you had 3 hosts this month, every Sunday until their party, she calls them. Both of those 2 directors call their hosts. And just depending on how far out or how close they are, it depends on what their discussion is. So, and that's just a kind of a time organizer thing too. I have not adopted that yet, but I really need to, is pick a time and just be reaching out to my hosts all at the same time. But now my hosts are always available all at the same time. So I know someone else who, when they run their virtual parties, they do several at a time, and they create a group just for their virtual hosts and do a lot of group host coaching within that group. That's just, I have not done that, but that is a concept that another director does. So
that was one of the things when I watched a video yesterday. They talked about group hosting and setting up everything as a group rather than an event. I'm confused about which one is the easier way to go, the best way to go, not necessarily the easier.
Yeah. Earlier I said that I prefer events because people have to accept the invitation and they're not just thrown into the group.
Okay.
But there are people
who do it. Can I interject? I have a lot of friends that sell different things on Facebook prior to me starting with Pampered Chef. And I kid you not, there was probably 5 or 6 groups I was added to a week. And it used to irritate the living daylights out of me. And I actually even, not only did I remove myself from the group, I blocked myself from being added back to it. And then I sent each person a nasty little message that I thought that was the most immature and non-business-like behavior I've ever seen. So if I felt that way, and I know a lot of my hosts also feel that way whenever they ask, do you do groups or events? I would never do a group and add people to it without their permission.
And I have seen people who do groups, but they individually, like I participated in a group, but I had the host, it was for a different party, but the host contacted me, sent me a message, said, hey, I'm doing this party. Would you like to be added to the group? I said, yes. So she added me. If I would have said no, she would not have added me. So I think if you handled it that way, if your host handled it that way, that would be fine. But sometimes people just add everybody.
Yeah, they do. They add everybody and then upset their guests and have more problems. And people commenting, why am I in this? I don't want to be in this. And then they start negative posting all over your stuff too.
And
what else can we do to improve our skill of host coaching? Anything else?
thinking.
Your suggestions.
Yeah, planning out what you're going to say to your host before you call them or contact them.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. But good. So what questions do you have, or what exciting things do you have to share? I know Elizabeth shared about a booking that she got at the beginning. But do any of you have any other fun successes that you'd like to share, or any questions this evening?
I'm not sure this is a success. I had issues trying to close out my 2 parties in April. And I will never, ever, ever leave them to the last day of the month again. But they're making my May sales look good. And I've got a couple more parties scheduled for May, so May will end up looking really good for me, I hope. I guess that's kind of all I wanted to say. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
But hopefully it's fun and successful at the same time.
I've been having not too bad of a time.
Good.
It's giving me a different focus over what I have going on here at home.
And it gets easier the more you do it.
It does. It does. So I'm learning a lot, but my eyes are getting just bug-eyed from watching all the videos and watching all the training. And it's awesome, but this mind of mine can only absorb so much.
Well, and Tosh, I think you're new too, but jumping into trainings right after you start, like, that's amazing, because not only do you have that learning curve of having to do the PC University, which is part of our homework anyway, but you're getting all this additional training. This is not required. It's not, but number one, you're showing initiative. And number two, it is a lot of information. It's overwhelming anyway when you start something new, let alone take additional training. So if at any time you feel like it's too much, this is not just to Linda, this is to anybody. If at any time you feel like it's too much and you are overwhelmed, just step back from the additional training if you need to. We will offer it again. You can pick it back up. In fact, many people take the trainings more than once, because a lot of times you'll hear something, but it doesn't sink in right away, and then you hear it again and it kind of clicks, or you have to hear it 4 times before it clicks, or whatever the case might be. So, I've had a couple people say, I love what I'm learning, but it's just too much right now. And that's fine. We are not going to criticize you either way. This is your business, and you are taking on amazing steps, getting it started and moving forward. And we want you to do that. But if it gets too much, we don't, or it's not the right timing for you, then that's okay too, because we will offer it again.
That's a good thing to know. And there are several things I've watched over the last few days I would love to watch more. I watched one video yesterday twice, and I would love to see it again.
Right. So. Yeah. And I recommend taking trainings more than once, or listening to videos more than once. I mean, YouTube is phenomenal. You can go out there and look up all kinds of different YouTube videos, some good, some bad. Can't guarantee what's out there, but
like everything else.
But then there's also the PC University audio. I mean, those are out there too. So, anything else tonight? I don't have it. I don't have anything else for you guys. But anything else you want to share? Any questions? Any bonus successes?
Well,
I have another question, not so much on the host coaching, but for anybody that uses the Post My Party,
Mm-hmm.
like what are pros and cons, or is it worth it to get that?
I'm going to let Dara and Linda answer that because I've been using it longer than they have.
Okay.
And I want them to express their, like, what they
I'm still learning it. To be honest, the parties I've done so far, even though I started doing the templates, I've ended up doing them just making the post myself without the Post My Party. But I have a party starting on the 15th that I would really like to get that Post My Party in place. And a lot of the videos and the things I've seen over the last few days are saying 2 to 3 posts a day, which will make it a lot easier for me because I had a lot more posts in there. So I think it will work. It's just fine-tuning it for me.
Tasha wrote that, and I'm only reading it because Elizabeth can't see it. I couldn't do my job without it. Interaction with guests is key. I do not want to spend my time typing instead of interacting.
And I agree with that.
Dara, what's your... I know what you think, but I want you to say it anyway.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, because I hit something and I lost my own view up here and I didn't know if that meant I was removed or what.
I can see you and hear you.
Okay, good. All right, so Post My Party, what have I done this? 3 months now, I think, maybe 4. Lifesaver for me because I was copying and pasting every single one of my parties and going from a Word document layout where I had everything ready, picture folders where I had all my pictures ready, and I was copying and pasting everything. And I would have parties that were phenomenal on how many people were interacting, commenting, liking, whatever. Some of my posts some of my parties were having over 100 notifications popping up on my Facebook. And some were comments, some were likes, some were people asking questions. And because there was so much interaction, while I'm busy copying and pasting, I'm missing all that. So now that I'm using Post My Party, I can actually sit here and enjoy the party, and I can answer the questions and be right on top of it and work with the guests and not miss out on somebody saying, hey, I want to place an order, but I got to do it tonight because I'm going on vacation tomorrow and I can't get it in after that. So I love it. What do I got? This last month I had 5 parties within 10 days that spread out over 10 days. And I ran all 5 of them, not back to back, but basically back to back. They were within 5 minutes start times. And one started on Sunday, one started on Monday, one started on Tuesday. So they were basically back to back that way. And then I closed them all out either Friday of last week, or I actually closed out 3 days before that, 1 on Friday, and then 3 on Saturday. And if it had not have been for Post My Party, I probably would have died and not survived. So, and I actually have 7 parties booked right now for this month. And I have 4 parties going right now on Post My Party currently as we speak that are working.
And that was my big issue with the email parties. You couldn't use Post My Party.
Yeah.
Everything had to be manual. And I did figure out how to copy and paste, but it still was a lot of work.
Yeah. So with Post My Party, I like it because I can be at my full-time job and I can still post. I'm not technically posting. it says that I'm posting through Post My Party. So I can be at my full-time job and it can put my posts on my Facebook parties when I physically couldn't do it otherwise.
And see, that was kind of my draw, because I'm like, I can't really be posting while I'm at work. And then I feel like I'm posting in the morning before I go to work, and then when I come home after work, and I thought, well, it's kind of not super great. So,
and it kind of depends. Like, I will offer a 1-hour party or a week-long party. And this is what I tell people, this is for virtual parties for Facebook. And I say, the 1-hour party is just like a cooking show, except of gathering at the host's house. We all gather on the Facebook event at a certain date and time that we have set. And I still use the Post My Party template and use that because of what Dara said. I can go through and I can spend more time enjoying the party and interacting with guests. Then the hour-long party, or the week-long party, where I post multiple times a day. I post like 4 times a day at 8, 11, 2, and 5 or something. I don't remember exactly. And I do 3 posts within 3 minutes, so they only get 1 notification. But then I can do that. Well, it can post while I'm at work throughout the day, throughout the week. And I don't have to worry about it. I can check the notifications later, answer questions. I have found that with doing that, I fall behind sometimes on some of the games that I play with some of the responses. But other than that, I just need to work on making sure I'm checking back at the right time. So I like it. I don't know anybody who doesn't like it, but I would say that if you're going to do a majority of virtual parties, it is worth the money, the $10 a month.
okay.
If you're planning to do like 1 or 2 a month, you may want to wait and just try it copy and pasting first. Kind of up to you.
Okay.
I would recommend that. Copy and paste a couple of parties and then decide from there how much work that is before you invest in it if you only have a couple parties a month.
And I can send you and I can send it to you too, Linda. I think I have a couple on Word, or maybe Dara has a couple on Word. But to do that, like, you literally and I think Dara did the same way. I set up picture folders on my computer, like made a folder and put virtual party number 1. And each picture I just named 1, 2, 3, 4. And I knew that's number 1 picture was the first picture of the first post I was posting. And then I had a Word document with my wording that I copy and pasted. That's another option. There's no right or wrong way of how to do a virtual party. That's one way that I have done it. I've also used Evernote to copy and paste, because you can drag and drop the pictures, but that's only if you want to try to deal with learning Evernote.
Yeah, I'm not ready to do that.
Evernote was a pain in my butt. I did not like it.
Yeah, I've looked at it a couple of times, and it just, I would rather use Word.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with Word.
So I hope that helps, Elizabeth.
Yes, it does.
And I do have a worksheet wrote up on Word for the newer information. A lot of it's just copy and pasting from the Word document, like you said, but the pictures I already have in my file, so they're not in the Word document. The Word document's only the wording.
Yeah.
And like you said, I pull mine from the files. I don't know if I can share my screen or not, but basically I just have a folder that says baking stuff. So all my stuff that related to baking is in that file. And then I have bowls, because there's so many different bowls. And then I have the rock crocks, and then I have the make and take and the infusion water bottle. I have those in another folder. So I just made folders for different items as I go down. And
but yeah, you have folders by products. I have folders like for specific parties. So I'll just show you super quick. It's however you want to set it up. Like here's my Pampered Chef, all my different Pampered Chef stuff. Here's my virtual show folder. I have a lot of random pictures down here, but I also come over here and I have virtual show, virtual party cookout, like different virtual ones that literally, 1, this is my first post, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 3.75. So those are all my 3 posts, all my 4 posts, all my 5 posts. So they're just in order, and I just would copy and paste out the wording. So that's just what I have. A lot of them, I have a couple of different ones. Healthy in a Hurry was one that I put together. So just, you can organize it however you want, but that's just an example.
Yeah, I liked mine by the products because of the fact that I could find them easier whenever somebody said, well, what was this item that I seen? I can't remember what it's called, da 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 da. And then I would remember what it's called and go look for it that way. So that's why I did it by product.
Yeah. And you can organize on your computer whatever works.
Medicine cabinet.
So do you got anybody else have
Leftover meat.
questions?
Oh, all right.
Any other questions tonight?
I think I'm good for tonight.
Okay, awesome. Well, keep up the good work. If you guys do run across questions, let me know. Otherwise, the next training will be out on the Facebook group on Sunday morning. So keep working hard. Make sure you're getting rest and be focused and happy. Yay!
I'm getting more rest.
Good.
Okay, I do have a question. I did not have time because of working my live party last night, my live party tonight, and closing stuff and whatever. I have not had time to post my homework answers, my takeaways.
That's
Do I
okay.
need to do that now that we've went over it?
You still need to post at least like your top 1 or 2 on the 6 weeks to success, and you have until before like anytime by Saturday night.
Okay.
I haven't posted mine either,
Okay.
so
That's
I'll make sure I do that.
Okay.
And I'll
Tasha,
tell Jamie and Michelle.
Okay. Tasha, feel better, and we will catch you on the flip side. We'll probably do this again next week, unless our numbers keep dwindling. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Night.
Bye.